My name is Max Ochimeza, and I'm an online teacher, popularly known as Dr. Max, or that's what the people call me due to my prowess in academics. In most cases, or how I mainly operate, I help the girl child mainly. That's my, if you check all my records, you find out that about 80% of the students that I help are the girls, especially the underprivileged ones. So I teach online, mainly on WhatsApp. Okay, as for the 2020 November results, I have an 100% pass rate. I have the evidence with me here. I have my phone. You can check it yourself and check for yourself. They were sending all the slips, and the evidence is there for everyone to be proven to that it's my sweat. Why? Because the schools were shut. Right. That's the duty that I did absolutely. They only went to schools to write. You know, when the schools were open, it was all about writing. There wasn't any coverage of syllabus to talk of. So I have about 2 15-pointers. Last time I checked, I think I don't have the accurate information, but what I can safely say is from the 55 slips that I received, right, I had over 37 10-pointers and above. Those with the 10 points are 37 and above. You get this? The reason why I recorded the points it is because most of my subjects helped them to get into that. You know, I should be, the rightful way for me is to deal with my subjects that I teach, because mainly I teach FRIs and history. Then thirdly, Shona if they need me. So I only recorded mainly for FRIs and history, but the points they got helped them to get to those points. So I would like to say, the last time I checked, right, let me check again here. Right, yeah, I was writing it here that I have recorded 55 slips and from my students, and 35 of them have 10 points and above. Right, 37 of them have 10 points and above. Then I have 2 15-pointers, 5 14-pointers, 5 13-pointers, and 12 10-pointers. Those with the 10 points. The rest they are between 6 and 9. The rest, if you say 55 minus 37. So it's like I have garnered 17 A's in FRIs, Family Religious Studies, 12 B's, then 20 C's, right, in Family Religious Studies, then 16, some of them were not doing the other subjects, you know, some were actually going to do TCA or FRIs, and we want to say history, but we don't want to say this. So I have 16 A's in history, and it's a shocker because I'm mainly a history specialist. But I'm shocked that I've been beaten by 1 A in FRIs. You know. So so far I have 16 A's in history, 21 B's in history, then 8 C's in history. Right? Then a few D's in E's, you know, they're all passes. Yeah. That's it. Then I don't take Shona. I was just helping them. I have about 5 A's in Shona. You can see the gaps here. You know, it's not my subject, you know, but these are my main subjects. FRIs and history. Those are my areas of specialty. You know, during my times I was saying I want to be a lawyer, I want to be what, but I'm now obsessed. Yes, it's too much. It's like an addiction. That's what I spend the whole every day doing, the whole of the day. Day and night, I sleep at around 4 in the morning. Just working on that, working with students, marking assignments. You know, like yesterday I slept around 5 hours marking assignments. I didn't work throughout the weekend because I was celebrating. You know, I even cried with joy because they were very good figures. You know, so if I would continue with my own personal education, I would want education maybe in history, maybe in FRS, or maybe in literature. But for what I've done, I think the president must just give me a doctorate. I'm already Dr. Max. So if the president would see this, it's fine as well. You know. Yeah. So I would like to continue as a teacher. Yeah, I'd like to continue as a teacher. So initially, when the lockdown was implemented, I had over between 150 and 200 students. But I had to prune them down. You know, some of the students are not focused. some of the students, it wasn't even smooth. It was very tough at times. Because some of the students, they will be orphans, but one would want to work. Achinatsozoti ainherera mari yaitoti tengwe data yatotengeserwa madomasi nemadora pamusika. Munhu yeye kumuti nyora basa haanyori basa. So I began to cut down. Zokuti finally those who wrote with me finally they were around 80. They were around 80. In as much as the learning process is concerned, I had lessons which were formalized, right? If I would say formalized lessons, I would say that I had a timetable. That on Monday we are going to do this and that. I mean, it's very simple. Men would ask, even someone would be making inquiries, how do you go about it? You know, it's very simple. Just like how people chat on WhatsApp. And one of the most advantageous ways when you're dealing with these online lessons, especially on WhatsApp, is the simple fact that there are low stationery costs. You know, when you're going to our conventional schools, you need to buy the plastic covers, the counter books, the one. I just need even a 32-page exercise book and a pen, just like that. In as much as notes, textbooks, and all kind of stuff, I provide everything online. You know. So that's how I carried out the lessons. And I also taught them on how to study. I told them that it's not about reading for 10 hours or 8 hours. It's all about understanding. It's far much better for you for in a day to read just for 10 minutes. Then you would know something, right? That would be fine. Rather than reading for 2 hours, then you won't know something. So I always taught them about the topic master approach. You listen to my audio lessons, you listen to the notes that I have given you, you read the same material from different sources. For example, if you're in history, you are learning about the causes of the French Revolution, you read the causes of the French Revolution from the notes, you read them from Dennis Richards, a textbook, you read them from Thompson, from Briggs, from C.A. Leeds, you know, the one information, the same information from various sources, you know. So you would have strong knowledge. That's one of the skills that I imparted to them. I also guided them on those studying tips. And if they would follow that, you would read for something like 30 minutes. Then the other issue, which got us these good results is the simple fact that they wrote a lot of classwork, you know, essay writing. Every week we wrote essays. And the most important thing that I did is I conducted mid-years exams, full-blown papers. You know, that's the advantages of schools. You know, when we are learning at a school, you know, there are those mid-years exams, they prepare the students for the final exam. You get that? So, you know, the schools were shut. Then I said, okay, what can I do so that I can assess the capabilities of these students? Are they actually refined for the final exam? Then I came up with what were the mid-year exams. That was around in August, June. 3 full-blown, 3 hours. Like, it's like the ZIMSEC thing, you know. Yeah. So it really prepared them. They went into the jungles and faced it. The pressure, you know, the time management and stuff, they faced all that. So when they finished around August, I was now dealing with them one by one. I was going to each and every one. About 8 of them, I went to their inboxes. Okay, you got 42%. This is not the end of the road. We are left with something like 3 months to read. What you are supposed to do, you just have to correct this and this and this and this, you know. And finally, we got the best result. So it's a long process, and it's not even smooth. Some of the students are even stubborn. You know, I'm 27 years, and that's the other reason why I want to deal with girls. Because when you're a teacher, you want someone who could listen to your instructions. So girls are more obedient than boys. I just want to be brutally honest on that. My online head boy at 15 points, I think he was one of the most serious ones. The other guys, you know, they will be saying, face each other. So I'm 27 years. So what you don't know now, I'm 18, I'm 21, what you don't say, like their big brother or something. So the teacher, but the girls man respect me. So if they would command respect, everything will be fine. But I faced a big challenge with boys. You know, I have a group of teachers in Zimbabwe. That's why I got the experience from. Because you might have 10 A's at O level. You might have 25 points at advanced level. You might have a degree, a diploma, or a doctorate, or what. but you might teach students and they'll fail to get an A. Teaching is a skill and it's a passion. Chitori chipo chinobva kuna Mwari kuti even uchinzi iwo wakatopasa say you cannot even teach the student. So in ndakatozonoti of course I passed, and I passed enough to be I'm too good for being a teacher, but I created a group. Then I began to liaise with the examiners, with the seasoned teachers. Some would say I'm 20 years in the business. So we now would be interacting with them. So I have this feeling that some arts so no guarantee and so at times no start a debating group. Start a debate. My ideas then I'll take those ideas. You get this. Argue, it's like we'll be arguing, right? But when they'll be arguing, they'll be bringing somewhat. You know, when a scholar is arguing, you'll be defending himself very scholarly. So I will take those arguments, especially from seasoned teachers. Teacher who's 30 years are in business, so I have them in that group. So some of them, those are some of them whom I lured. And it's not about inspiring students. I inspire teachers as well. Many teachers were shocked. Where did you get those figures? You know, how I'm getting for the past 5 years I'm getting B's. How can I get A's? You are talking of 17 A's. It's like I don't have an A in my teaching career, you know. So then I will be advising them, and I will be learning about scheming. You know, there are some education even you 20 points. My requirements and education to deliver effective, like adumbrating or like explaining or like getting into greater details of a subject's objectives. You know, those are some of the skills. Interpretation of the syllabus. That's what I actually mastered by teaching. Kuti kana munhu uchishanda kana let's say uri mufundisi chinhu chaunonzi uri mufundisi you have to use the Bible religiously. So kuno education chinhu chaunofanira kunamata semudzidzisi it's a syllabus. So kuti syllabus ini yamusoro mangu, but pese panenge nda kuita lesson even munhu akauya achida kuita lesson ndombotanga ndadzoka feedback to the syllabus so that I can be on track. With the syllabus you won't be lost.